Thank you for joining me for the 2021 State of the City Address. For the second time, I'm delivering this message virtually due to the pandemic. This past year has been unmatched by any in our lifetime. At times, it seemed like our nation was undergoing an extended stress test. In addition to the pandemic, we experienced civil unrest, political divisiveness, and economic hardship. Everything that transpired has tested us, and our community has risen to the challenge. During these trying times, I have seen Plymouth residents lead by example. They have demonstrated a commitment to respectful civic engagement with peaceful gatherings to call for justice and reform, turned out in record numbers to cast ballots in the midst of heated political rhetoric, and helped those in need by donating to food shelves and human service organizations. Looking back at how we came together in 2020, I could not be more proud to represent Plymouth. We have treated one another with care, compassion, and respect. In this address, I want to share a few city highlights about the past year and tell you about a handful of projects on the horizon. In November, Plymouth voters returned 3 incumbents to the City Council: Jim Willis, Elise McGregor, and Jim Davis. I want to congratulate them on their success. The City Council continues to hold modified meetings with members of the public participating using Zoom. As always, gavel-to-gavel coverage is available via web streaming and cable television. City staff continues to serve our customers online and by phone, email, and appointment. The situation will continue to evolve, so I encourage residents to visit the city website for the most up-to-date information about city facilities, services, and events. In 2020, Plymouth's appeal as a great place to live remains solid. Community development staff issued building permits for 409 new residential units, which was slightly more than in 2019. And as Plymouth nears build-out, the city is focusing on redevelopment. A proposal to transform the long-vacant Four Seasons Mall site into a mix of residential, commercial, and public space continues to progress with an adjusted construction schedule. The developers are currently seeking state funding, and if the financing schedule pans out, construction could begin next year. The city is also progressing with creating a renewed vision for Plymouth's Central Corridor City Center. Following a community engagement process, several priorities emerged that we're describing as City Center 2.0. These include establishing more civic plaza spaces to create a downtown identity and community feel, improving connectivity so people can safely and easily walk between businesses, green spaces, and amenities, incorporating condos, apartments, and townhomes to add vitality to the area, creating restaurant clusters to draw people from across Plymouth and beyond. Now, City Center 2.0 is not a single project that will transform the area, but rather a city-guided, developer-driven, overarching vision that would advance the initiative goals in the coming decades. Overall, the intention is to create a vibrant, visually appealing, financially successful, mixed-use development plan that enhances the character of City Center. In this past year, the Plymouth Housing and Redevelopment Authority undertook a strategic planning initiative. The effort focused on the HRA's role in promoting all aspects of housing, including assistance programs and the development of affordable housing. In the near term, one of the HRA's initiatives will be developing a twin home called Valor Place. It will provide stable, affordable rental housing for military veterans and their families. This winter, the Public Works Department launched the Live Plymouth Plow Map as a pilot program. With the map, residents can track the progress made by snowplow crews in near real time. And looking ahead, staff is planning to utilize the technology for street sweeping operations as well. High on the list of city's priorities is the upgrade of County Road 47. This winding road was originally designed for farm equipment and light traffic and is unable to safely accommodate today's urban development and traffic volumes. County Road 47 belongs to Hennepin County, but it presents hazards to Plymouth residents and regional commuters. The city is stepping up to advocate for funding for road upgrades, but unfortunately, County Road 47 is not eligible for state or federal assistance. So we are working with our state legislator to request $20 million in state bonding to make critical safety improvements. Ultimately, Plymouth hopes to accept the road from the county and operate it as a city road, But first, costly safety improvements must be made to protect motorists, pedestrians, and bicyclists. And like Public Works, public safety personnel have been on the front lines during the pandemic. Police and firefighters have responded admirably, and I cannot thank them enough. I also want to highlight that the police department received the 2020 Voice of the People Award for Safety Excellence. The national award recognizes the high marks residents gave police services and safety in the National Community Survey. And because this award is based on feedback from you, our residents, this recognition is especially meaningful. It is also noteworthy that the department saw a change in leadership in January when Public Safety Director and Police Chief Mike Goldstein retired after 31 years with Plymouth. Chief Goldstein was a leader in Minnesota and beyond. He pioneered and promoted mental health initiatives that started a conversation nationally and that other departments have since adopted. Mike meant a lot to our community, and the Plymouth community has meant a lot to him, as you can hear in his own words.
It is time, as difficult as it is, to travel down some new and different paths. I have been blessed. I am extremely lucky, and I am very thankful. Godspeed to you all, and be well. Thanks.
We wish Mike well in his retirement and are so grateful that we have had a seamless transition to new leadership. Eric Fadden was selected to fill the dual role of Public Safety Director and Police Chief. Chief Fadden is well positioned to carry on the professional, progressive, service-oriented culture of the Plymouth Police Department. Chief Fadden, a Wayzata High graduate, rose through the ranks of Police Department, most recently serving as Plymouth's Deputy Chief. As the new chief, he will continue the police department's extensive community outreach. He and his team plan to build on the informal community collaboration group that has brought together residents of color and police to share thoughts, have necessary conversations about race, policing, and trust. He also plans to hold community conversations with the general public about policing in conjunction with the Minnetonka and New Hope Police Departments as the pandemic allows. And the fire department is looking forward to 2 construction projects this spring. Station 2 will be demolished and rebuilt, while Station 3 will be renovated and expanded. Aimed at enhancing the city's overall public safety and emergency preparedness, the transformed stations will allow the fire department to continue transitioning to a blended staffing model that features 24/7 staffing in addition to paid on-call firefighters. The model significantly reduces response times, especially for overnight calls. Our firefighters never know exactly what awaits them when they arrive at a call, but they are always up to the job. In this year, 3 firefighters, Brad Kauser, Mark Elbin, and John Lonsberry, were recognized with service awards. Firefighter Brad Kauser received a Distinguished Service Award for his creative problem solving. While on a lift assist call at a residence, the patient was confined to the basement of their home, and other solutions were unavailable. Firefighter Kauser devised a mechanical pulley system to safely lift the patient from the basement to be able to be evaluated. And firefighter Mark Albin received a life-saving award after he helped save a person in full cardiac arrest. He helped paramedics opening the patient's airway and using a mechanical chest compression device to restore his pulse. His assistance in management of the patient's airway during the transit made all the difference in this critical situation. And then firefighter John Lonsberry was also honored with a life-saving award for helping save a 3-year-old child who had fallen into a creek. The child's parents had pulled him out of the water, but the child was unconscious and did not have a pulse. Lonsberry administered life-saving care for the child in the ambulance while en route to the hospital, where the child made a full recovery. According to the child's mother, the boy was 100% back to his normal self within a matter of days. She called it a complete miracle. I extend a special thanks for all 3 firefighters for their exceptional service. This year, the Plymouth Parks and Rec Department has had ample opportunity to show why it's a leader in the state and nation. The department has nimbly adjusted changing guidelines for use in the Plymouth Ice Center, Plymouth Creek Center, and Field House, as well as use its creative muscle to design virtual recreation programs in interactive recreation kits. As people flock to local parks and trails in 2020, staff has done a stellar job with maintenance and even enhanced the Hildy Amphitheater this winter with seasonal light displays to brighten dark winter nights. The Northwest Greenway saw phenomenal use this last year, attracting nearly 500,000 people, far more than the typical 100,000 users, and the new challenge course at the Northwest Greenway also proved very popular. Another endeavor that has commanded the attention of staff is a 2-year project to transform the Plymouth Creek Center from a modest activity facility to a full-fledged community center, suited to meet the needs of today's population. Phase 1 of construction is expected to be finished in early December and includes an indoor walking track, 2 gyms, fitness rooms, and a 7,000 square foot indoor playground. Phase 2 will include renovation of the existing building and construction of the education wing. The entire project is expected to be completed by summer of 2022. The Administrative Services Department spearheaded 2 efforts which illustrated Plymouth residents place a priority on civic participation. Nearly 86% of Plymouth residents self-responded to the U.S. Census, meaning the Census Bureau did not have to follow up with them for counting. Our community response rate was significantly higher than Minnesota's self-response rate of 75%. Thank you to all of you for ensuring Plymouth was fully counted. During the summer and fall, city election staff worked tirelessly to ensure that voters had multiple options to safely and securely cast their ballots, including outdoor voting in a tent. Plymouth residents responded by setting a record for the number of votes cast. An impressive 88% of registered voters participated in the November election. I extend my thanks to those residents who stepped up as election judges. We could not have done it without them. Thank you. While the pandemic has negatively affected the economy, city operations remain financially sound. We have maintained a strong financial position thanks to careful fiscal management and federal CARES funding, which helped offset pandemic-related expenses. As many local businesses have struggled during the past year, economic development staff has helped them navigate available resources to weather those challenges. The city has also awarded nearly $730,000 in grants to a variety of Plymouth businesses, including restaurants, retailers, entertainment establishments, and more. The grants were made possible by Federal CARES Act funding. And as we await a return to business as usual, I ask Plymouth residents to continue dining and shopping locally. Our business continue to rely on our community's support. And finally, I want to extend a warm thank you to city volunteers who helped us this past year. They generously gave more than 16,800 hours, valued in nearly $460,000 of in-kind contributions. Thank you. This past year has been a whirlwind, but it has also been a time for reflection and to be grateful. As circumstances allow us to begin normalizing our lives, let's resolve to keep leading by example. Let's showcase the best of our community. Keep participating, engaging civilly, and extending a hand to others. Before I finish, I want to give a special thank you to Helen Lefebvre, who retired as the communications manager for Plymouth for the last 34 years. She was Plymouth's chief storyteller, and she did that so well and kept our residents informed. Helen was my right arm, putting the words together to communicate the message I wanted to say. This state of the city represents her last work and exemplifies what a great job she has done. She will be missed, but we wish her nothing but the best in her retirement. Thank you, Helen. And thank you for joining me for this virtual State of the City. Be well.